Chapter Sports. We talk about the real stuff of the sports world and anything goes. Are you ready? Let me introduce former NFL coach Kirk Broussard, former CFL coach and pro coach Chris Williams, and myself, Tracy Lynn. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you get your podcasts on all major platforms. Hey, good evening. Happy Monday. It is Valentine's Day. It is February 14th. This is the Play Callers Pod. Coach Kirk Broussard. We have Carlos joining us. He has his own podcast and radio. It's Sportaholic. He's from Nashville tonight. Thanks for joining us. Coach Chris Williams, well, he's a romantic. He is out with his wife. So big game. The game was bittersweet yesterday, and that is why we are here right now. It was bittersweet because, well, football is now over. We're going to get ready for the combine, and then there's drafts. So we have all that to look forward to. But the big game, Coach Kirk Broussard, you almost had it because you did say the Bengals.
Yeah.
Now, Carlos, you didn't say Bengals, did you?
I did, unfortunately.
Did you?
I was
Okay.
drinking the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
I couldn't remember. What a game. What a game. I mean, at one point, so I actually went on air for my country station and I said, fine, if the Rams lose, I will give up wine for the rest of the month. That's how confident I was. Heading into the fourth, I'm like, I probably should grab a glass because I have a feeling we may lose.
Yeah.
Like they almost had it. 23-20, Rams take it. We have so much to cover in this, and we're just gonna get right to it. We're gonna start off with Odell Beckham Jr. Man, oh man, you felt it when it was a non-contact injury, ACL, I believe it is. You felt the pain when he went down, another injury, and you saw him on the sideline. Man, I know instantly I was on social and people were like, pray for him, make sure he can get back out there. What are your thoughts on Odell Beckham, on his future? Do you guys feel like he's going to come back? Is he going to come back stronger and even better? Is that going to be his story? Or do you think maybe he's done? Coach Kirk Broussard.
I think, first of all, you got to hurt for Odell because, he's had a up and down career. And now he gets to pretty much the pinnacle of his career and an opportunity to be a key contributor in the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And he has kind of what I call is like a freak injury, to go down the way he did. A lot of debates about should we be using turf? Should it be all grass fields in the NFL? So my heart goes out to Odell for not being able to finish the game. But he caught a big touchdown to kind of kick it off, that was a great catch, great score. So, he contributed all year. He's just as deserving as being a champion as anyone else. And, my thing with him is that he was pretty much primed for a big contract with another team. That's been a lot of the talks. And at his age, he's been in the league for a while now. And, this is the second big injury, within maybe a 3-year span or less. Mm-hmm. And so you got to wonder going forward, how is this going to affect him, with getting that big deal that he was primed to get. So, that's a concern. But, he'll bounce back. He's a resilient guy. I think he'll bounce back. Will he be as good as ever? That remains to be seen because at his age, at that stage in his career, being a receiver, you wonder how much longer can the body hold up. Not saying he's an old player, but he is in the prime at the end of it. Well, I would say he's probably midway to the end of his prime. So, you will have more injuries and you have to be more in tune with taking care of your body. So is someone going to want to spend big money on that? That's the question, because they were primed to pay him big money. So,
one question came to mind instantly was why, since he's had that injury, why didn't he go out there with it wrapped or something on his knee to protect it? Because once you hurt your knee, we all know once you have a knee injury and you have surgery, it's like a car. You have to go back and get maintenance on this.
Yeah.
So I was really shocked that there was nothing almost like a preventative measure so that this
Well,
wouldn't happen, especially prime time.
I think a lot of that is falls on the lap of the training in their recommendation. You know, if they recommend you wear a sleeve or they recommend you wear a brace, that's kind of what you do. You kind of follow the guidance of the professional. So maybe they told him he didn't need a brace. Maybe they told him he's 100%. So
Yeah. Carlos, what are your thoughts? Odell Beckham Jr., do you feel like for his future, he's just going to recover, have a comeback story, be stronger than ever? Or are we going to see him maybe take a different route when it comes to his football career?
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's done. I think he'll catch on with the team. Again, a guy with those type of hands and talents can't coach some of the stuff that he can do, but to Kurt's talking point, I think we've seen the better days of him. We're not going to see that New York Giants flesh in the pan Odell at this point, I think, in his career. But he did show resurgence. I mean, to come back, go for that Rams team, he scored 6 touchdowns over the last few weeks. He
Mhm,
showed that he still got enough that I think he could latch on to another team. One thing I didn't appreciate is, they kept showing him, it's like every 5 minutes,
mhm.
for whatever reason, they were just paying to Odell. I don't care what's going on in the game, a sack or a touchdown. And they just kept going to Odell. And you just seeing him crying and he's moping around the sidelines. I'm like, man, I know this hurts, but come on, guys. Come on. We gotta stop this entertainment value thing. This therapy that I don't know what the hell we was doing, but I think he'll be just fine. I think he'll bounce back. He will not get that big contract. That's out the door now. He won't get that. Now, really feel bad for a guy that put it all out there on the field, was playing well, was finally get to that point where we felt comfortable saying that maybe he's back. It's a miracle, that everything that happened to him this season, that he was in the point of being in the Super Bowl. Think about that. You wouldn't have thought about him playing for the Rams in the Super Bowl. So, a good story. I think they got to bounce back. I think he'll be back around. He's just good enough at what he does, and to be a valuable commodity to a team. I think.
Yeah, you did see them pan over to him quite often, and I mean, we saw the pain. We felt that pain as soon as he was in the air and on his way down. Okay, we all had that. What is going on? And yeah, I think they kind of like played off him a little too much, but
I think the pain that you saw was a combination of not being able to finish the biggest game of his career.
mhm.
And then he probably thought about that big contract I have had coming up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There
There's
was a
definitely some
lot of
money in that
emotion.
cry.
There
Yeah.
was definitely a lot of emotion in those tears. Those tears cried more than just I hurt my knee. Yeah, that is for sure. Okay, we'll go on to our next topic. Cooper Kupp. So he joins Randy Moss, Jerry Rice as the only players in the NFL history to reach this marquee so Super Bowl MVP. I don't know if you guys saw at the end, there was a couple plays and he got hammered, but he got back up and it almost looked like, I mean, he really drilled his head, but he continued to play on and he continued to play on. He gets that touchdown, that moment. And when he was accepting his MVP trophy, he could barely talk. He was holding on to the side and you had to wonder, oh man, did he just really take is this concussion protocol? But my question to you is this. So he gets Super Bowl MVP. Now, people are questioning if he was the right person for this. There are people debating that Aaron Donald should have gotten this. Do you agree or disagree? Carlos, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Cooper Cup is always underrated, and I'm going to give that guy all the praise he deserves. I think not to play the stereotype because he's a wide receiver, I don't think he gets some of the respect that people will put on the names of other guys in the league if they put up the type of numbers that he did. He had a great game yesterday, but I'm sorry, it's Aaron Donald, man. I mean, the last two plays of the game, chips are on the line. Here we go. He showed up on both plays, and other than that, I think the big play where he pushed Burrow out of bounds and kind of let the Bengals know, hey, I'm here, man.
Mhm.
He had the guys fighting on the sidelines and things. So he really set the tone for that defense. You knew it's like somebody made that guy angry. The old John Henderson clip where somebody slaps him in the face before the game starts. Like he had that fire in him, And I think they rode that a lot, into that game. So Cooper Cup, he done what he done all year. I don't even think he had over 100 yards, or like 8 receptions, 92 yards. He did have a couple of touchdowns, which is important. But I think we're going for impact of what that award really means.
Mhm.
It was Aaron Donald for me.
I agree. I was shocked when they said Cooper Cup. Like, I got it. Like, he played well. Like, we're not saying he didn't do his part. He got the touch. It was perfect. He showed up, he played. But I agree. I thought after watching that game that Aaron Donald should have had it. Coach Kirk Broussard.
Well, first of all, I'd like to take my hat off to Cooper Cup because throughout the entire season, that guy's been great. I like the thing I like about him most is he's humble. If you saw when he got the award, he's like he didn't even want to accept it. He looked like he wanted to give it to Aaron Donald. He's a very humble guy, and I like and appreciate that a lot. But looking back at the game, I think Aaron Donald probably impacted the game more than anyone else on the field, so he probably should have gotten it. You look at what Cup had 2 touchdowns, Donald had 2 sacks. So, in that situation, they always give the edge to the offensive player throughout time. That's what we've seen. So I think it would have been tough for Aaron Donald to get it, but I think Aaron Donald was more deserving of the award as well. But I don't have a problem with Cooper Cup getting it also.
Yeah, I think we all can say we can debate it both sides. Now, speaking of Aaron Donald, when he was being interviewed after the game, he was asked, like, are you going to retire? Is this it for you? And he dodged the answer. He dodged the question. He was like, I'm going to enjoy this moment. I'm going to go with my daughter. I'm going to, do confetti angels, and I'm going to be in this moment. Do you guys see him retiring?
I think he's in the prime of his career. And I think the question was kind of inappropriate to ask me after I just won a Super Bowl. And It's not like I'm 40 years old. It's not like I'm a guy that's washed up. I'm still the best player in the league. Like, why would you even ask that question? I thought it was a stupid question, to be honest with you. And so I think he answered it with class. Hey, I'm not going to answer that now. I'm going to go play with my kid. So I don't think he was avoiding it. I thought he thought it was a stupid question as well. And I thought he just wanted to answer in a diplomatic way.
Yeah, I thought that his moment of being interviewed was a little bit too long. Like, let him enjoy this moment. How is he going to enjoy this moment when you're asking him 100 questions, especially what your next move is when you haven't even met your family yet to give your wife and see your kids after your big win? Carlos, do you think that he's going to retire?
Well, to Kirk, I would say I think I remember it was some speculation during the week that I don't know if he said it or some kind of way it got out that he was mulling, if they win one, retirement. So, yeah, I get what you're saying about it being inappropriate in the moment. Maybe that's something, you talk about towards the end, or maybe, like you said, give him a chance to get off the field and those type of things. But I think it's a valid question. He's if he's put it out there in a way that it could be interpreted by the media that hey, this guy may be thinking about this because look at his resume, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to put him up there with some of the great of greats. We're talking to Reggie Whites and the LTs. This guy's been a 6-time All Pro, not Pro Bowler, All Pro, best at this position, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Could have won multiple times after that. And one of the things going back when we was talking about Cooper Cup, he's not a guy that, for whatever reason, seems to get the recognition that he should get. I don't think people understand how good and dominant he's been for a long time at that position. Since they were in St. Louis. I mean, since day one he's come in, he's been a game record. So it would be hard to fathom a guy that good
Mm-hmm.
after winning the Super Bowl just deciding to call it quits. But it's a new age now, man. You can look at guys. Andrew Luck's the example. Not saying Aaron Donald had any injuries or anything, but guys get their money, get that big contract, and you don't got to put that wear and tear on your body if you don't have to. My resume again speaks for itself. So if you see that, and I call it career early, I think that we're going to see, unfortunately, more of that as time go on. We talk about CTE, we talk about all these different things that these football players deal with after their career. If guys got it in them to do so, if their money's okay, even they're financially stable and everything, and they're okay in their heart, I can see more guys doing that. Hopefully he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great player, and my own selfishness want to see him play as long as God lets him play.
So we had a Super Bowl that didn't have Tom Brady. Speaking of retirement. So his wife Giselle tweeted or posted on Instagram on one of her socials on Saturday, and she said, "Who's working this weekend? Let's do it. Let's get this done. Super Bowl weekend." Tom Brady responded to that and said, "I wish I was." So he put his 2 cents in there. He was making it known that he knows where he wanted to be, so it makes you question about retirement. But, speaking about a player that retired and then comes back and wins a Super Bowl, let's talk about Eric Weddle. What a story. What an incredible story. Coach Kirk Broussard, what are your thoughts on this? Like, retires, comes back. Like, this is, and now he's back in retirement.
I think he was in the right place at the right time. He got the right phone call at the right time. I mean,
Oh,
he just,
okay.
I mean, not to take anything away from him. He was a great player, but and he's been retired for a while now. So to get a call and then a few months later, you got a Super Bowl ring. That's great timing. So hats off to him. And it looks like he's just going to walk back right into retirement and do what he was doing before he came back. So
With a ring.
yeah, I don't blame him.
Carlos, you're shaking your head there.
I'm here for a good time and not a long time. I mean, you just picked up a check, picked up a ring, and brought right back on out the door. You gotta love it, man. I mean, look, I would love to be the guy in that position. Like Kirk said, get the call, man. I train it up, get back into shape, and like I said, I went all the way to a ring. So, hey, some guys just get lucky, man. And he was in the right place, like you said, at the right time. So, uh, I appreciate Weddle for what he was in his prime and what we really seen. He was a top-notch receiver. He had a short peak, but if I get the call for something like that, yes, I'm picking up. Guys, sign me up, and you never know what's gonna happen. And he ended up winning the ring out of it.
Yeah, lucky man. Yes, he's happy right now, that's for sure. Now, a lot of people are saying bad officiating, the refs, they strike again and they ruin Super Bowl. Those calls that weren't called, those nasty things that were happening on that field. We all were yelling at the TV at one point or the other. And then one of the refs is like, well, you know what? I didn't call it before, so why am I going to call it now? What did you guys think? Did you feel like that kind of like wrecked Super Bowl? Do you think that may have wrecked the chance that maybe it would have been a different turnout with the Bengals win? Maybe.
I think the Bengals would have won if they didn't call that pass interference down in the goal line. I really do but I mean, when you look at the game, they made bad calls on both sides.
Yes.
The Bengals got away with 2 calls that they shouldn't have got away with, and so you can't make that up when the game's on the line, because sometimes the referees will make that up. They'll go look to make up the missed call earlier, but you can't do that when the game's on the line. I mean, it's the Super Bowl. You got to let them play. And that pass interference call, that was not pass interference. So it gave the Rams 4 new tries to get it in, and we all knew they were going to score. So, but when you look at it, the Bengals had their opportunity to tie it up, and they can't protect Joe Burrow. They couldn't stop Aaron Donald, couldn't stop Von Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So they had both teams had their opportunities. And I think at the end of the day, it was some bad calls, but it was a fair game.
Okay, Carlos, what are your thoughts on the refs? Do you feel like they were being neutral, or they should have called more than what they did? Carlos is frozen. Oh, there he is.
It's a game of bounces and karma. Can you hear me? I was saying it's a game of bounces and karma and different things. Like the play that Jalen Ramsey, shouts out to him, Nashville, local boy here. The play where he almost ripped his face mask off. I forget who that was, Higgins or Chase, but that was a blatant foul that they didn't call at that point to put the Bengals in position to score their first time. So it usually kind of balances itself out in the game. I mean, it's going to happen. They're going to miss some calls. That one on the goal line, I mean, yeah, I mean, it probably was a soft call. It's something that you don't want to see, but we got to remember these guys on the biggest stage of their life as well. They're in the Super Bowl. They're trying to make sure they're overly protective of what they're doing and things of that nature. So I don't think it had an effect to the point where we can say that we didn't get the fair game out of it. But again, and I think that we got to talk about Jalen. I don't know if y'all got that on the list, but Jalen was getting kind of burnt there. Did you see Kirk that last play that they showed that if Donald didn't get Burrow, that Jamar Chase was streaking up the sidelines. Ramsey fell again.
Yeah. He had his way with JR.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
the rookie was cooking him.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That was the matchup we were all waiting to see, right? Jamar Chase, Jalen Ramsey. It had a lot of hype in the week. They were talking a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought I've always thought Jalen Ramsey is a little bit overrated. Is he the best cornerback in the game? He's in the top 3. I mean, there's some guys that are right there with him. But Jamar Chase is hot, man, and that rookie can play. And a few times, it looks like Jalen stumbled, but you can't stumble on the biggest stage in the biggest game. You can't
Wasn't
have
he
that.
blaming it on the fact that the turf or something?
He can't do that. That's his home field.
Well, I'm just saying that was a headline too today.
Yeah.
He was blaming the field.
No, you can't do that.
It visually it looks stunning to see the way that Chase was handling him, and he just looked out of place a few times. That was like one of the worst games I've ever seen them play as a professional.
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl. We get jitters. It happens and things like that. But it's a bad time to have such a bad game. And Chase, he looked like the veteran compared to Ramsey.
Yeah, Chase is going to be a stud, man. Chase is going to make some noise.
Yeah.
I don't even know who to compare him to. He looks like Chris Carter with more speed.
Physical. His physicality strikes me. The way that he just manhandles DBs. He still looks like what he did in college. He's able to catch that short pass, burst it upfield, and he may take it all the way. I just hope that him and Burrow, you hope those guys can sit together. They can fix that offensive line. They can get some more pieces. But that offensive, that receiving core and mixing, if they can keep that together, they'll be good for a long time.
Yeah, you're right. If they can fix the OL, look out. Look out. The Bengals could win multiple Super Bowls if they can fix the offensive line. Because defensively, they look pretty good defensively.
Now,
it wasn't a defense problem.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Joe Burrow's outfit of the night? And then rocking his $8,000 Air Jordan sneakers.
Wow. $8,000 for shoes.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, he's definitely got some swag. He's definitely got some style.
He got it.
He's making money for himself with his fashion.
Now, in the press conference after the game, he was the last one to actually leave the stadium.
Yeah.
You felt it. And he did say to his fans and he's like, sorry, I'm sorry. We tried. And you really felt that emotion, and you saw that innocence, take away the fancy outfit, the fancy bangle, gray, black and white, jacked up suit and all the bling and all the shoes. You actually saw this innocent, vulnerable person, because he was this close and it didn't happen. What did you guys think? I mean, let's just quickly touch on his performance. I mean, he played an amazing game. It was great, but they Rams just had him. They owned him. But like I said, there were times where I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be my last glass of wine for a long time. Coach Kirk Broussard, what are your thoughts on the Joe Burrow?
I think he is a competitor, and it probably hurt him. I mean, a great deal. I mean, he expected to win, and when you're down in the dumps like that after a big loss, you don't want to face people, talk to people. You just want to just bury yourself in the locker room and just avoid everybody. So he probably had a lot of feelings going on. He just probably wanted to get the hell out of there and get home. So, you know, he should just take it as a learning experience. He's young, he's good, comeback player of the year. You know, he had to work his butt off to get back, and he's got a bright future. And I think he should hang his head high, and he's going to do some damage in this league. He's going to do some damage in the National Football League.
Oh yeah. Carlos, any thoughts, any words on Mr. Burrow?
Hey, the boy got swag, man. That's as good as I can sum it up. The boy got swag, man. You know, being out here in the South, you just said, man, he got the drip, man. It's something about old Joe. It resonates, man. I think him going to LSU and being a part of that culture down there, and like getting in with those guys, it really highlighted some different things in his personality, man. And he just seems like a guy that's able to really relate to his teammates, to different sectors, and he just does a good job of being that cocky asshole, which you got to be sometime to be a quarterback. You have to
Oh, he
believe
owned it.
that much more than other people, and he owned it. And that's the always be the ultimate respect for me. Anytime that they got win, lose, or draw, he seems to take it in the way that it's supposed to be taken. And that's what got him here. Like I said, that arrogance to a certain degree is what made the Bengals not realize what they were doing. They had a hell of a run. Burrow definitely has went up a lot of notches in everybody's rankings, because we know he's, if you want to start going down those rankings, you might have Mahomes, you might have Allen, but Burrow's right there. I don't think you can go no lower than 3, maybe 2, if you're ranking like that next generation of quarterbacks. We've just seen Brady leave. We've seen Breeze leave. It's going to be a new day in the league, and the AFC, especially with the group of quarterbacks that they have there, it's going to be a nightmare. So one thing I'll say is, don't ever think that, we think about Dan Marino, went to a Super Bowl early in his career, had a great career, but he never got back. You can't take these type of things for granted. You never know how someone's career can end. So we say that Joe should have a good run, but looking at the AFC, it's pretty stacked. So hopefully, I think he's the type of player. He does have the moxie and the confidence that I think he'll make it back, though.
Now,
Yeah,
the moment that many people were only tuning in for was the halftime show. We all know those people that were like, "Oh, there was some football during a concert," and like they hyped up this halftime show. Okay, we have talked about it. We have been waiting for it. We have seen the previews and the artists teasing us about it. Do you think that it lived up to the hype? What did you guys think of it? I loved it. I was singing every song. And then when 50 Cent showed up, you were like, yes, like if you grew up or if this was your thing, you were like on cloud 9. This was like a perfect night. But a lot of people are saying it was so hyped up, but the show wasn't great. So you either thought it was an amazing show or it wasn't. Coach Kirk Broussard, what did you think of the halftime show?
I think it was great. I think it was one of the best ones I've seen.
I loved it.
Yeah. I think the presentation was amazing. That stage, and with the 6'4" Impalas out front, I thought it was great. And I think, I think a lot of the buzz was about 50 Cent's weight gain and how plump he looked.
And people saying how ironic he showed up after 2 quarters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I read that and I just laughed. I'm like, I gotta remember that one for tonight. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, but they're like in their late 40s, 50s, early mid 50s.
50s, yeah.
Like they're rocking it. No one looked like they had aged at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Eminem was the only one that looked like he looked a little bit different just because his hair is darker.
I thought Eminem looked great, like young.
Well, no, he did. But when he first came out, remember he had the bleached hair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now it's just a little bit darker.
Well, it's been dark for a while. I've been seeing it dark, so I guess I'm kind of used to it. Yeah.
But he took a lot of heat from the NFL.
Yeah. I'm glad he did that. He kneeled. They knew he was going to kneel before the show, they said.
They did. I read it before the show started.
Yeah.
But they told him not to do it.
Oh, really? Okay.
They said, don't do it.
I'm glad he did it, and it needed to be did.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then something else happened before the big game. These allegations with Snoop Dogg. And people are saying, well, why was he able to do this and perform after having these sexual allegations happening? Why is it anybody else who's had this, they have been instantly fired or replaced or whatever? So here we are with all these controversies and everything that happens. They're like, he's got these allegations. I don't know what harassment and a bunch of stuff. We don't know if it's true.
No one investigated it, so you can't take him off the show with no investigation.
I thought he knocked it out of the park. I thought he killed it. He looked amazing.
He killed it, yeah. I mean, Snoop is always good. He's always classic.
And I liked that they had all of them together because remember we had talked about there's only like 20 to 25 minutes for this halftime show. How do you have this group of, was it 6 incredible, like talented artists and give them enough time? But I liked how they didn't just have an opening and then the main. I liked how they all interacted with all of them.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, and Carlos, tell me what you think about this. You know how the NBA has always embraced hip hop. It seems like the NFL is starting to try to embrace hip hop because this is the first hip hop performance ever at the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, no, it was great. And I think that goes to Jay-Z's influence. You know, he's been working with the NFL, and from what I understand, he was able to coordinate getting Dre and all his friends, we'll just say it that way, in coordination. And it's the only way that you really can pay homage to the West Coast, LA. You know, I always like when they have a theme to it. And if you go to a city with LA, you represent the whole West Coast. And you got to pay homage to the guys that built it up. So, you know, you got to bring in the Snoops, the Dre's, you know, no matter where you at, you know, if they have a Super Bowl in Montana, I expect to see some Montana type of, artists to show up. So a good way for the NFL to do that. But it was good. I don't think it was the best I've seen. I mean, I go back to Prince's performance where I think he had the Purple Rain and it was raining and things, and you know, and Beyonce and Bruno, they had a good one. So, but it was really good to see Dre getting the respect that he should as being a West Coast juggernaut hip hop artist that he has. And, you know, to see Kendrick Lamar in there, y'all can't forget my boy Kendrick, man. Hoping to see that album drop real soon, man. So, you know, that gave some name recognition to the Yankee crowd. But overall, good performance, man. It was a good performance.
Like, you can't really say, I mean, in my opinion, you know, one's better than like Prince, because I think like Prince, like each one of them just brought something different to the table that it was just a whole different kind of wow performance.
Yeah, I forgot about that, Carlos. That Bruno Mars one, that was one of the best ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then remember Beyonce.
I don't know if I was young or something. Was it like raining or something when he was doing? I think he was performing Purple Rain, and it's like the rain started coming down. And when that song came, I was like, this. I don't know if it's a nostalgic memory in my head, but I was like, this is too perfect. He can't be singing the song. It's raining outside. The purple lights are going. I think that's what sticks out to me about that one.
Yeah, you can't top Prince.
Beyonce, Ravens for when for their Super Bowl, that would have been what, 2014 ish.
Yeah.
Remember the power went out? Like her performance was incredible. And then all of a sudden the power goes out and we're like, oh, this must be part of it. And it wasn't. And then they had to it was on a delay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the halftime show was great. Commercials were good. I thought the commercials were good. I mean, we got a little bit of a sneak peek. Like, are the Sopranos coming back? I don't know. Did you guys catch that commercial?
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
No, they're not.
Well, maybe you sure?
Yeah.
That was just commercial, right, though?
I know, but I thought they were teeing it up where the daughter, Meadow, would be like Queen Bee. No?
I think it was a spoof of him driving a Suburban back in the original Sopranos.
Yes, I know, but I was just hoping that they were teasing me with something.
I would hear it if there was.
Well, it was good. So we can all agree it was a good halftime show. It was very entertaining. Many of us woke up this morning still listening to the music because I believe that on streams it's like all number one. Like they're like the top downloads right now, everyone who performed at the halftime show. So it definitely brought us back to a moment in our life where it was probably more peaceful. And that is why we were just like, yep, let's go back right there. But let's move along to the next one. A Lombardi win. So Rams Van Jefferson wife had to be taken out by ambulance because she went into labor. How nuts is that? Because I know that I thought that Odell Beckham's wife was borderline having her baby soon, but yeah, he just you saw him running. That's it.
Yeah.
Out to have a baby.
I wonder, did she get excited and it like triggered her into labor?
Maybe.
Hmm.
But that's quite the moment.
Yeah.
A hell of a
I mean,
weekend, I tell you.
Quite the moment.
yeah, that's like the two biggest possible moments of your life all rolled into one.
I know. And you're like, I kind of want to stay and celebrate, but damn, I got to go be by my wife's side while she has a baby.
He'll never forget that. Yeah.
No. That baby will hear the story of his birth.
A Super Bowl baby.
A Super Bowl baby. Right. So that's amazing. So we, well wishes to the family. Now here's one, and it happened on the field, and I think you know where I stand with this. Taylor Rapp proposes to his girlfriend in front of family and friends after winning a Super Bowl, and he drops to one knee and like the confetti is falling. And it is a perfect moment. And he is like, baby, will you marry me? And she's like, yes. Come on. Why? Why that moment? Why that moment? I'm sorry. Like, did he say, okay? Did he wake up that day going, you know what? If I win, I'm going to propose to her. And if I lose, it's not meant to be. But why that moment? Like, I'm sorry. Go do it privately. I get you're in a moment and you're excited, but like this was his moment.
Yeah.
It's like Mahomes. Remember when he got his ring and then he gave his then girlfriend, now fiance, a ring?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this?
I don't know. It's maybe he wanted it to be memorable.
Why didn't he do it today? It's Valentine's Day. Make a moment.
That's kind of like, I don't know.
Cliche.
Well, the Alabama player last college football season proposed after a loss to Georgia. Oh no, hold on. Is that who they lost? Did they beat Georgia? It was a Georgia player that proposed after a loss to Alabama. That was crazy.
I just don't see the point of it. And the only reason, listen, I'm not being bitter right now. Don't send me messages and being like, oh, here comes bitter Betty. That's not it. I just think like it's your moment. Taylor, enjoy it.
Yeah.
We get you love your girlfriend and you want to make her your wife, but it was about winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So you could tell
maybe he wanted two of the biggest moments of his life to be rolled into one as well.
Let's just say stats for marriage, not looking so good there, buddy. I would have kept it on a different day. Sorry.
You just sound like a woman who likes football. See, I think that you know how some people who they love that big moment. They love that dramatic. There's always that one guy. All his friends tell him don't do it, and everybody knows he's gonna do it, and he's gonna do it. He's just that one guy out of that 90 in that locker room, and he just was gonna put a Hollywood story, But now look, we're talking about him. He's become somewhat of a relevant character in this. We wasn't talking about this guy before this.
Yeah, it's very true.
Some guys like to capitalize off those moments.
I mean, it was beautiful. It was a moment. I mean, the confetti, your home, again, another home win.
Not mine.
But I don't know. I watched it live. And honestly, I was like, what is he wasting this moment on? Like, seriously, like, I get you love her. Do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyways, congratulations.
Who knows? What maybe she told him. She's like, why don't you just, hey, I know some people like that. They'll be playing to
Right.
that point. She may have told him, to start their
If you win, you better
entertainment career.
propose
I
to
don't
me.
know.
Hey, you might be
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
They had a conversation
for real.
yesterday on local radio asking, is it appropriate for the woman to propose to the man? Because that's like a new thing now.
Yes, it's called a man-gagement ring.
Okay.
Wow, that
No, I
sounds
am not joking. I read that
really
too.
soft, man. That's really soft.
Really?
That's a new thing now.
But
A man
why?
engagement.
Like, what do you mean it's soft? You don't think that that's a right? You don't think that a female would be like, you know
Um,
what? I want to marry you. I'm going to ask you.
That marriage will never work.
Oh my God, Bobby.
that
That
is,
marriage will never work.
yeah,
Why?
yeah. That guy's
If
Really?
you
not
have to
because
pressure
that
a
guy.
guy into marrying you, that marriage will
Yeah,
never work.
But
Because
that's not pressuring
exactly.
somebody.
if he hasn't proposed, then he's not ready.
But I thought guys like
Yeah.
assertive women who know what they want.
Definitely not.
That may be a little too assertive, man.
No, that marriage will never work.
I don't think. Yeah, the man's
Oh,
supposed to,
man.
do that because he's the one that's, making the effort to show his love. If he ain't showing his love to that point, to Kirk's point, he ain't ready. Don't do that. Women out here, I understand. I mean, hey, if you love that guy,
Okay.
sure. But
Okay. I have an
I wouldn't
opinion.
advise.
It's my opinion.
I wouldn't
It's
advise.
my opinion as a man.
Let's hear it.
As a man, when we meet a woman, we know almost instantly if that woman is marriage material. And we know, depending on how much time you spend with her, within a few months, if that's someone you would marry long term. It doesn't take us long. We know when we know. Am I right, Carlos?
No, he's right. He's right. We're gonna determine that very early in the engagement that we have, and you're just gonna pick it up and you're gonna know. So yeah, you're right. It doesn't for those who understand it, it doesn't take long.
Some men just put a ring on it just to shut her up, but have no intentions of getting married.
True.
What do you guys
True.
think of public engagements? Okay, so we heard about Taylor's. He wins a Super Bowl, proposes to his girlfriend, happily ever after. They're loving life right now. They both got rings.
Yeah.
What about when you go to sporting events and you see on the Jumbotron a guy proposing to his girlfriend or a person proposing to their significant other?
Yeah.
What do you think of it then?
I think it depends. I think it depends on who you're with. You know your girl. You know her personality.
Yeah.
You know if she would be into something like that, or if something like that would embarrass her. You know.
I would just be like, no.
Yeah.
And then afterwards be like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't like those. See, I'm the one that's yelling out, say no.
Yeah. A lot of girls aren't into that spotlight stuff. They would be like, don't do it like that way.
It's a moment. I just feel like it's a moment.
Yeah.
And you know what? They just totally wasted it.
Yeah.
On the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
I could be watching a replay.
Not my style, I would say. Not something that I would want to do. But again, Kirk makes a great point. This man knows that a lot of time as a man, it's not about you. You got to make it about her,
I
what she
get it.
likes, and the things that that she's into, because that's the old saying. It's it's going to work out well for you. So, but I wouldn't
Things
personally want to do
change,
that. I don't want to
man.
go on the Jumbotron. I don't want to be kissing all on the kiss cam and all that.
You gotta love it when they're like,
I'm
my
good.
mom.
Yeah, no, man. I just, we can do all that at home, baby. We don't have to do that at this. But again, she may be into that, and I may have to, understand that.
Well, times have changed. So the reason I'm saying you came across this story is because it is a popular thing, and it is called a man-gagement ring. And that is very, very popular. And a lot of guys are digging it because it's now, I'll tell you, I read another article that says that men are digging it because one, it takes the pressure off of them and that they don't have to go and buy a ring. And they feel special.
Why would you want to marry a man that wants to avoid pressure? Why would you want a man that's too coward to tell you he wants to spend the rest of his life with you?
Listen, it's not me. I'm just telling you. I
And he
literally
can't
know.
afford a ring to buy you. He can't even afford the ring. So financially, he's happy that you bought him a
Well,
ring. So that's
Oh,
the
Lord.
engagement shouldn't be about the ring. It should be about the commitment. And if I were a woman, I want to marry someone with courage. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's about the ring. I think that two people can be together and not be married. But
Yeah.
you know what? We're just
Tracy.
opening up
Let
a huge
me,
bag. Yeah.
All right.
before
Next
we
topic.
leave, let me ask you this on that. Would you would you propose to a guy?
Would I? Um,
Yeah. Since we're talking about it,
of
would that
course.
be something that you would do?
You know, I'm
Chris and I wouldn't allow you to.
hmm
it's not my thing.
Okay.
I'm not like into that sort of
Yeah.
thing. I'm just saying that if a woman wants to do it, actually, let's back this bus up. Friends, remember them, Friends? She planned
hmm
on Monica was going to propose to Chandler. And during the moment, he was like, "Oh my God, I was going to propose to you." And then he ended up doing it. But it started off with her doing
She
it.
started a whole trend in the 90s.
Damn. See, the
Oh
90s
wow.
are back. Halftime show, Monica
Yeah.
proposed. I love that. Okay, well, we'll get back to our sports. Anything else that you guys want to talk about in regards to the Super Bowl? Because this is it. This is our last 2 cents coming in right now. Coach Kirk Broussard, anything? Any final thoughts on Super Bowl? Big Rams win.
No, I'm just excited that we had a great game. We got through the season with COVID. We were able to get through a season. I think we got a deserving champion. I thought we saw some tremendous play from Tom Brady at 44 to lead the NFL in passing. I think it was an exciting season.
Yeah.
I think we ushered in some great rookies into the NFL. And, what are we going to talk about now with the NFL gone? We can talk about free agency and the draft,
Yep,
but it's
we have
gonna
baseball
be a long
season.
off season.
And actually, they just did a post that college baseball, they're going to be putting a lot more of the games on TV.
College baseball.
Yeah, because they probably
Yeah, what's wrong with
they still
that?
got the
I'm not
labor.
watching that.
They got some.
Why?
College baseball.
Jeez. Now
Yeah,
you're
I
the
know the
guy that
shortstop
women
for the
propose to.
University of Oakland.
I'm sorry.
I
Okay,
think
regardless.
doesn't the baseball like MLB though? Isn't that they having a lockout or are they having a labor agreement disagreement? So the season may be postponed, right?
Oh, no, I hadn't heard that. Wow.
See, I've just been focusing on football. I'm now getting into baseball right now. So
We got.
Carlos,
We're gonna bring Carlos on a lot more because he's an NBA expert,
yeah,
and we got to focus on the NBA now.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
stats
It's
for
my turn.
viewership have gone up as of today.
Hmm.
My
Can
time to
LeBron
shine,
do it?
baby.
Can LeBron get him in the playoff?
Kirk, why you playing with me right now, man? Right now, the
Even
way the
I know
Lakers
not to say
playing,
that.
Are you giving up on the
ain't no
season?
way in hell. I'm not gonna ever give up on my guys, but man, I gotta be honest, man. We getting cooked out there, man. They don't look good. We are. It's bad. Bobby know it doesn't even look like. Remember, I remember I was on with you guys. I guess it was like a month into the season, and I
Mhm.
told you I said we'll give it to about Christmas, and I said a little bit after Christmas, maybe towards the All-Star break. Well, I'm here to say it ain't working. It ain't worked since Westbrook got here. They didn't make any trades. It's not gonna happen this year, man. We're gonna be in the playing game at best, playing some lowly 8-9 team, and hopefully just don't get bounced in that game, make to the first round. That's
Yeah.
what I'm predicting, man. That's what it looks like.
What kind of impact is James Harden going to have in Philadelphia? Is that going to work?
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Okay.
It can work, man. If those guys decide to share the ball, the thing that doesn't go with that game is, Embiid doesn't do a lot of pick and roll. He likes to post up. He likes to isolate. He likes to have the ball in his hand as a guard almost. And you know how Harden is. He likes to have the ball in his hand. So I'm interested to see how they try to figure out that dynamic because James Harden can't keep getting away with this. Every year that he gets disgruntled, we can't be saying, all right, James Harden is going to, I'm getting tired of this, man. It's like, come on, you got to make one of these work now, Harden. But I really think the Nets going to benefit even better. A lot of people are high on Philly, but I think the Nets with Simmons, he does all the little things that they need. Nothing. He didn't bring nothing else to the table. He doesn't want to score. You got two generational scores. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to all those updates. And guys, we made it to Super Bowl. We pegged it. I think that we were pretty much on track all season for season 2 of the Play Callers podcast. We kind of knew how this was going to end. I'll give us all kudos on that. We kind of know what we're talking about here. So, well, gentlemen, it was a great evening. Thank you both for coming on to the Play Callers pod. So same time, same place, next Monday. And yeah, thank you. Hope you guys have a good week ahead.
All right. Thank you. Good show, guys.
Appreciate it always, guys. You know it.
Thanks, Carlos.
Bye, guys.